Here we are. Map vetoes. Undead versus human. Our first of this entire tournament, isn't it? Because there is another undead, 120, but he hasn't faced Sok yet. The first undead versus human. Let's all agree together that the result of this match will once and for all determine whether this matchup is imbalanced or not. No exceptions, no past results, no future results, no dissent. Whoever wins this has screwed over their race in the next balance match, okay? I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. Let's see. I missed the vetoes, but I took a screenshot in Paint, so we can all look at it together. We smart. WFZ removes Echo and Turnestan, friendly expansion maps, and CHAEMIKO removes Last Refuge and Twisted Meadows, which have a lot of creeps and creeps that are unfriendly to footies, like Poison and Ensnare and Purge. So very standard vetoes by both. Concealed Hill by WFZ. It's a hard expansion map, so he picks it. CHAEMIKO picks Northern Isles, which is the better expansion map among the three remaining. And Amazonia is, again, not a very good expansion map. But it does come with one redeeming factor. The Rock Golem level 6 cannot be stolen with Death Coil. CHAEMIKO is one of the old guard of human players. He is actually not one of the old guard. He channels the spirit of the old guard. He likes, like his hobbies include fast expansion, SimCity, which is the Korean English word for building your base in a good layout. SimCity. Lumber mill blocks for towers. Towers in all the right places. Blacksmith blocks. Getting an expansion. Defending it. Mass footies. Counterattacks and defense. And then I don't know what he goes after actually. Is it breakers or is it night breaker or flying machine or is it night flying machine? I'm not sure. CHAEMIKO is is a player with very good fundamentals. He's not as micro heavy as TH. He's a bit more like Infi. This Japanese girl is so cutie. She's Chinese. She looks so sad. I don't think she's sad. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't mansplain how she feels. I see these things thrown out all the time. She's so sad. She's so serious. She's so bored. She's so tired. I think these are all really random assumptions. I think she's trying to look professional with her expression and focus on casting. She's probably trying to do a good job of casting. Just like anyone. I don't think that makes you sad. There's nothing wrong with looking serious or any way you want to look. Let's not be weird. You're so sad, serious, bored, and tired, Grubby. That's true. Well spotted. I'm glad you noticed. It feels good to talk about these issues. People say the same for you. Nothing related to being a guy or a woman. I'm sure it's not. And no one talked about the guy, though. Not once. Every time we get this image, it's she looks sad and tired. Nothing about him. I don't know why is that. He looks sad and tired. There we go. That's emancipation and equality. Thank you. Let's talk about how sad he looks. The drums are starting to make me feel a little stressed. Yeah, they outfits for Chinese female talent are often more in the like fairy tale princess look more than in the West. That's just a cultural difference. It's always been like this for many years. Oh yeah, thanks Doom Drake. Hey, Koye has been removed. That Blade Master looks so angry. Does Cass usually wear some clothes like that? I said Chinese female talent. Like, when they do the job there. Cass is a Singaporean expat living in Netherlands. Do you wear like that? It's equally standard question. All right, here we go. First best of three. No, last best of three. First map of the best of three. Undead versus Human. China versus Korea. WFZ versus CHAEMIKO. Both of them have lost their opening series. That's why they meet in loser round 1. CHAEMIKO 0-2 versus TH. WFZ 0-2 versus Foggy. Since TH 2-0'd Foggy, that means CHAEMIKO lost to the stronger player. His 0-2 potentially means less. In that case, it could be that CHAEMIKO has the advantage here, but it's difficult to tell, and it's a really random line of reasoning. It's the unofficial World Championship type of reasoning. CHAEMIKO opens up with Archmage and Footman, WFZ with the Death Knight. The early to mid game is fairly scripted in this matchup. In fact, Human Undead is a matchup that has mostly been figured out already. You see very little MK plays, like MK first. You don't see Rifle Paladin openers all that much. Only Thorzane does that. You don't see Dreadlord or Lich first all that much. Might actually see Cryptlord at some point, but I don't think Asian undeads have developed this as much as European undeads. This has long been a cultural difference between Asian RTS nations and Western RTS nations. I think it has many reasons. The Asian culture, the Chinese and the Korean culture is very emphasized on hard work and rote repetition. This starts from school and it's also true in work. Archmage gets the XP. Whereas the Western culture often emphasizes on individuality, creativity and freedom. Which means you do see a more free spirit in the way that Western RTS games get played out. That is why, part of the reason why you'll see a quicker adoption of Cryptlord first tactics after a buff. And a slower adaptation by the East. But the East generally has the better execution of the builds that they do. The better micro and timings. So no Cryptlord here. Now, Death Knight, I don't know. Yeah, he decided not to actually creep at all because the Footman was there. He spent so much time attacking the Footman, which CHAEMIKO did relinquish to WFZ, that he didn't even do a single creep camp. He didn't have time for the level 4 creep, he felt like. Now, I really think as a human player, you should pay attention to how CHAEMIKO does this. He pulls the creep camp at max distance with the Footman to make sure that the creeps leave, And when they return, their AI has been abused, disabled. No slow by the mud golems, no ensnare by the troll trappers, and no boulder by the rock golem level 6. This is 6 skeletons. Wait, what did he coil? He missed the troll trapper. WFC misses his first coil. That's a big deal. 6 skeletons are coming in. And CHAEMIKO finds many units to take out the skeletons. Apparently you do not ignore these skellies. You kill them. He gets experience for it. Footman survives. Absolutely amazing micro by CHAEMIKO. The Fiend is too late to kill and finish off the Fiend. CHAEMIKO with the perfect creeping. His fundamentals are so damn good in this matchup. The final coil, the second coil of the game, maybe the third, gets the first XP. But this was so well done by CHAEMIKO. He has more management that he needs to do. It is more difficult for the human player in this situation. It is more difficult to manage so many different units, but given enough practice and comfort, you end up with a near unstoppable level 3 Archmage and fast expansion. He didn't even lose a single peasant. Cool ghoul pool. Cool ghoul pool by WFC to pull the creeps into Nerubian. Coil steal, no, not a steal. Coil secure on the Renegade Wizard to get the level 2 Death Knight. Unholy Aura has started. Now Archmage containment tactics. Archmage tries to get as many hits as possible on the Death Knight. Water Elementals to zone out the Fiends. In some matchups, Undead will fast tech to tier 3 before getting anything else. Not in this matchup. You need Lich first. Happy plays it the same way. Lich first, Obsidian Statue out as fast as possible. So you go Lich first, Slaughterhouse, third Ziggurat, and then maybe you tech to tier 3. He's got the money for it now. Does he go immediately? Despite potentially being under attack. I don't think he does. I think you get a statue first. Oh, he does. Okay, there we go. Tier 3 has been started. Claws of Attack on the DK will be passed to the Lich soon. No Rod of Necromancy right now for WFC. Does not have the money for it. Staff of Telly and Boots for the Archmage. He's been getting gold from his expansion. Very good footman control by CHAEMIKO. He's been hovering near with footies, but never committing them to early Fiend skirmishes yet. He needs 2 hits to finish this footy. There's one. Goes around the corner, tries to go for the second. Gets it. First wand of Mana Steel has been used by the Archmage. Lumber mill at home. Farm at the laboratory. No shredder hired yet. CHAEMIKO is out of lumber. Now it gets scarier. So far CHAEMIKO played virtually perfectly. But now he gets to a situation where he's against Unholy Aura and will be bleeding out footmen every time he uses them. He would love to get a shredder from the laboratory to secure his lumber income once and for all. The question is, does that line up with the necessary timings? Because it could very well be that his practice has shown him that despite the investment potential of a shredder, what he really needs now is many towers. Here we go with the blacksmith. Blacksmith vault walls off and protects the towers. Statue out. 4th Fiend. Another statue being produced. Goes for some creeping. Does WFC. Lightning Shield sells it. There goes the 2nd and the 3rd tower. Nice position for them and a farm to plug the gap on the left. Will we see the Pitlord 3rd by WFC? The Pitlord 3rd to rain of fire on peasants that are repairing buildings. 7 footies move in, get a Zeppelin. We'll be harassing the gold mine. Archmage has staff. He can staff there. He actually steals some of the creeps and goes here with the Zeppelin. WFC has faced this before clearly. His ghouls are chopping the trees behind his gold mine. This is significant. This is not by random chance. He's doing this because he wants to create as much space as possible behind this gold mine. He's also making a spirit tower already. to help defend. He wants to have his ghouls in position to defend, but... Oh, they nearly got attacked. Gargoyle already. Not attacking the right thing yet. There, we go for the Zeppelin. WFZ is so ready for this. His practice clearly paid off. He's gonna lose almost nothing to this. Garg has driven the Zeppelin in the corner. Zeppelin now escaping to the north. Footy's getting attacked. This is still gold denial tactics by CHAEMIKO. Bridging a very risky gap for him normally. He does not want Undead to be attacking now. So despite this being completely countered, somehow it is still necessary. Every second gained on the opposite side of the map is another plus 40 seconds gained for the Undead not to be in his natural or his main. It buys time for towers. Many footies were lost, but look at this. He only now is making second and third tower in his main. He needed that time. Not overdoing the towers. If you go for 6 towers per base, that's too much. Undead will always only attack one place at the same time. That means that however many towers you make in one base is however many you should make in another. If you deem that 3 towers is what you need in your natural, that's also what you need in your main, because they can choose what to attack. But it means if you go for 6, then you need 6 in each. That's a large investment. You'll never have units, and your opponent will creep the map. Archmage level 4. Can't go in for the tome, it's too risky. Destroyer comes out. 1 Destroyer, 1 Guard. Archmage still sharking around trying to get damage on the Destroyer. Any hit on the Destroyer is helpful. Despite the existence of Coil, he still wants to start depleting the Undead. I don't think there's enough towers yet. Workshop, 50% of the way done. There's Sanctum, but I don't think it's producing. CHAEMIKO never went for a Shredder, so he's actually got lumber issues. If he had gone for the Shredder, he could be power building this Workshop. He needs flying machines, he needs some breakers, and he needs some knights. And the Paladin third. Archmage level is pretty good. Oh, Lich is just going in. Whoa! That's a big miscontrol! He goes in, farm block. Is the Coil, the Lich is out of mana. Farm gets attacked. Archmage now staffing in. Lich is still stuck. Frost armor is helpful though. Keeps his DK away from the Arcane Tower. Next Coil cooldown soon. Very soon. He gives Invul to the Lich, or he already had it. MK still blocking in the Lich. There's no more mana for Coil. MK has a heal pot. He can bolt the Lich. And he can't give the TP. The Lich dies. A massive blunder by WFZ. And I see no esports head shake by WFZ, which is a good sign. But that was a disaster. Now I'm gonna try to explain why that Lich went in. Rally pointing, I mean, movement in Warcraft 3 is designed internally on the programming side with a series of rally points. If you click a peasant behind an altar that is just out of range, rather than thinking I take one step forward towards the altar and then attack the Lich, this is what AI and pathing actually does. I will take a series of steps through the nearest opening until I'm close enough to attack the peasant. This is helpful because you want units to naturally path around inaccessible terrain. And the altar farm wall is inaccessible. So there's no point to move towards a wall, even if that puts you in range of the peasant, because the game thinks I should go through the nearest crack until I'm near enough. So if you actually want to attack peasants behind a wall, in order to manipulate Warcraft pathing, you need to manually move closer to the altar, then attack the peasant. He didn't do that, and he didn't look for a bit. So he's like, alright, I'm sieging the altar, let's hit this peasant, and maybe he was like that much out of range. So the Lich goes in. Maybe CHAEMIKO pulled up the peasant, so he chased into the back of the lumber line. And he lost his Lich. He rebought it from the tavern. That's very costly. CHAEMIKO now stabilized because of that. He got experience because of that. He's 50 food with a massive bank. This is greedy by CHAEMIKO. Very greedy. Still staying at 50. But it looks like that greed is justified. He can hold. Fairly okay here. Now going over 50 food. Fiend goes down. Bolt focus fire. Orb of fire. Staff of sanctuary. Flying machines get murdered. Paladin dropping low. He can staff it. He gives a heal pot first. He knows that staff itself is also a weakness. It puts a hero in an immobilized position where a destroyer can come in and can remove that effect. Did CHAEMIKO overdo his greed after getting a Christmas present in the form of a Lich? Now currently not mining from his expo. Making flying machines, trying to plug the gap of the Pit Lord and focusing fiends. That's a coil. How much mana is there left? There is more coil available. Flying machines reveal fiends for potential burrow plays. One fiend goes down. Paladin gets staffed. He's still not mining from his base. I need some water. Knight goes down. Flying machines doing a lot of damage on the destroyers. There aren't that many fiends left. Orb of fire effect on the Lich. Healing effects will be debuffed. Fiend goes down. There's still enough mana for a bolt. DK is out of mana. Cannot coil. Gets focus fired with bolt and breakers. What was that? Oh, he bolted the Lich. And there was a mid-air bolt. Okay. The bolt was mid-air, and then an invulnerability potion procced. So he blocks the bolt, Holy Light's assassination. 2 destroyers died in that fight, and all of the fiends. CHAEMIKO's army is becoming too difficult to break through. In terms of practice, seeing this game as a practice game, which it isn't, it is elimination. If this had been a practice game, WFZ would have said, fake game, accidentally lost my Lich, stupid mistake, go next. But this is an elimination game, and he losing one map out of... Oh wow, double fiend. Why? Mistake. Maybe he rallied his Garg there a long time ago and now accidentally has his crypt rally there still. But yeah, this is an elimination game, so that is a very painful loss. I think that's what happened. I think he had the rally for the Garg there and never repaired it. And he's never been remaking fiends as much because he stayed on 50 for so long. Nice micro by CHAEMIKO. So much damage on the fiend. First abomination on the field. 70 food CHAEMIKO. He needs to protect his peasant line against Rain of Fire. WFZ wants to shut down some of that bonus mining. Does not have TP, by the way. That vault death animation looks too much present still. Flying machines going for the destroyer. Destroyers are the best. Oh my god! Lich only takes like, what, 150 life from a coil because of Orb of Fire? Maybe like 200 life? 200-300. Pit Lord gets focused, Orb of Fire effect, and dead. And there's just too much stuff for CHAEMIKO. He's got so much damage. Abominations, no disease cloud yet. Knights on the fiends. Water elemental on the abomination. Good splits by CHAEMIKO. Goes for the Lich. Does not have invul on him. Runs away. Good frost armor. I guess that proves it. Human is better than undead. When undead sacrifices their Lich level 2 in the human base. CHAEMIKO looking on the cusp of winning the first map against WFZ. Yeah, sometimes it's worth not coiling something that's going to die anyway. Just let it die. Yo, thank you so much for the sub, Voxy Fire, appreciate it. Destroyer goes down to flying machines, which are back again. Pit Lord comes out. Didn't do any hits yet, trying to get to safety. Get surrounded. You know, I call CHAEMIKO a player not as heavy on micro, but this is pretty wrong. His micro has been extremely on point. Both in his expansion, and I think it wasn't fair for me to say that in general in the first place. I just remembered him as a macro player. But now that I'm like really watching him and I remember some of the old games I've seen, super on point. Nice blocks, great surrounds. In fact, he's microing more actively than Infi when it comes to his units. Very good micro, also in the management of taking his expansion. Now this is the undead base still. This is a base that you say sir to. There's a reason why there's this saying, never attack into an undead base. Holy Blight Ground, statues, Nerubians, Black Citadel, Unholy Aura, Frost Armor. It can feel like you're trying to run in one of those dreams where you have a lucid dream, not lucid, where you are aware of your dream, but you just can't seem to run because you neurologically have your muscles turned off, but you've become aware that you're dreaming or you think you're awake. Remember trying to run and you can't run? That's what it's like in an undead base. A nightmare. A vivid dream, is that what it's called? A sleep paralysis? Granite Golem could be a nice comeback mechanic for WFC. Without Dark Ranger third, it can be very difficult to deal with the holy trinity of human heroes. No silence on the Pala into Mountain King Snipe. Or Pala Snipe. It's just Rain of Fire Cleave. Virtually useless. Like Pitlord is like a big abomination right now. What item did he get? That's a good one. Command Aura. 10% damage bonus on everything. And what did CHAEMIKO get? Endurance Aura. Lol. So he gets bonus movement speed. D-Shield. Okay, okay. Holy Light 2, D-Shield 1, and now Devotion 1. He went for the 2-1-1 split.
Greetings, friend.
Xenostar, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, dude. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the G Club. 80 food CHAEMIKO. WFC 48. This is gonna be DK5 if he kills it before it expires. But it's also a death trap. Oh, not DK5, but it is Pitlord 3. I think he took Rain of Fire. Honestly, I feel like Pitlord should have gone 1-1-1. Rain of Fire is for the Peasant Harass. That's no longer here nor there. Just get Howl. Reduce damage taken. Are you really casting Rain of Fire? Where's the rain? Oh, he's trying to target flyings. That's awkward.
Friend.
No TP. No chance for Lich. See you, Kel'Thuzad. He died like Bolvar died. Screaming. Bolt on the DK. No death back, nor mana for that matter. Gets focus. Great job by CHAEMIKO. He kills the two heroes. Rain of Fire. Kills a knight. Nope. Stop. CHAEMIKO dominant. Lost maybe only a single unit this fight. And this is on Amazonia, the neutral map. GG. Well played by both. Very, very clean by CHAEMIKO. One giant mistake for WFC. It cursed the rest of the game for him.
Greetings, friend.
It doomed him. Markson Jr., thank you so much for the sub, dude. And Ataria with the 9-month sub. Since when are you also casting? I'm gonna answer this one literally and honestly. Since 2010. I have been casting sporadically. Never full time, but never absentee. Since 2010. 90s graphics. Lol. let's face it. Oh, chewing gum. Froze. Webcam. Concealed hill next. So, CHAEMIKO microed his expansion creeping so well. He manipulated the creeps away from the natural, which allowed none of the creeps to cast any spells, so it was simply about killing stuff. Is background in WGL reference to Last Champion? Yeah, maybe. Maybe, because Orc won it. Possible. I've never uploaded CHAEMIKO games to my YouTube because I've never casted him or played against him. So, this creep camp on Concealed Hill is endowed with 2 poisoners and a purger. And the level 5 is coilable. So, despite the close proximity of the expansion to the undead base, like on Amazonia, I would rate Amazonia still a better expansion map against undead than Concealed Hill. Even if you micro it perfectly, which CHAEMIKO did pretty much do, you're gonna get poisoned peasants, poisoned footies, poisoned archmage and water elemental. It is like a brown bear over the river in trout season. That's how the Death Knights of WFZ will feel. Plentiful food. What are you gonna kill and eat first? So, the 0 peasant start, I don't think CHAEMIKO can reproduce that. Archmage being produced. Now CHAEMIKO might actually go for a laboratory creeping first. It would gain access to a greater consumable, like greater healing, greater invul, scroll of the beast, wand of mana steel. Would be quite useful. And it also gains access to putting a farm on the laboratory, which will give him a shredder later or a zeppelin if he wants. But I think with the footman scout going the way it does, he's not doing this. He's going for a 5 militia small creep camp that gives him level 1.8. It's not nearly as risky. The footman scouts the Death Knight and sees WFZ is opening up with a creeping rat. Is Scroll of the Beast better for mid game or late game? Scroll of the Beast is best for mid game. The way that human would use a Scroll of the Beast is once they have Archmage 3, 1 or 2 elementals. Oh, he lets his footy die again, pretty much. He got ensnared. But that happened last game too. It does slow down the creep rat. Once you have 2 elementals, Archmage 3, 6, 7 footies, you turn on Scroll of the Beast and you start attacking Fiends, Acolyte, Goldmine, Shop or Ziggurat. That's how you would play it. You don't want to save it overly long to wait until Undead has Destroyer, which is pretty early in this matchup. But you don't want to use it when you have Archmage and only 3 footies either. In some matchups it's really a late game item, like Night Elf versus Orc. Night Elf loves to have a late game scroll, but not in this matchup. Good creeping by CHAEMIKO, and actually, I feel like the footy loss is by design. He sends it to be sacrificed. It takes another 15 seconds to kill it, and WFZ will arrive late. But I wonder, is it the long distance of the map that causes WFZ to not even try to harass the creeping at all? Is that wise? Now, I have seen situations where a DK level 1 tries to harass CHAEMIKO, and he just gets absolutely gobsmacked by repeated fireballs from the Archmage auto attack. And this DK level 1 never gets Unholy Aura, gets hurt, then can't do anything. And then by the time CHAEMIKO takes his militia to go to the natural, he will just use his Archmage to keep hitting the DK. Still not much can be done. So try not to be too critical when you imagine that this entire camp got done. Oh, he coiled the footman. Was that intended? I don't know. Maybe it was. 2 peasants have gone down and a footman too. Look at the footman position. It's on hold position to the right side of the town hall. It's a plugging of the gap to make sure that skeletons cannot pass he will open the gap for his peasants. And then he would replug it with a footy. Surround attempt! Surround attempt! No. Nice tries by CHAEMIKO to manipulate the terrain there, but actually I get it now why WFZ shows up late. Unholy Aura skeletons move better and damage better. The map is too large to start with DK1 harass, and he would take too much damage. He comes over here and he kills 5 peasants. A much preferable result to coming with a DK1, coming too early, taking too much damage, having nothing to do, no hobbies, and then you can kill maybe 1 or 2 peasants and then you're gone forever. So that was a good job by WFZ. He slowed down the expansion exactly at the right time. Again, a well-practiced opening. The mod that is used to make Reforged look different is called quenching. But I don't know if you have access to it. Third ziggurat behind the gold mine, presumably to become a spirit tower against future zeppelins. CHAEMIKO creeping. Coil on the turtle. Item went to the DK. Mantle of Intelligence. A fantastic item for the Lich. Got the XP as well. Level 2.9 on the DK. Anyone can use this mod, said chat. I'm playing with quenching, said Stefot. Okay. That's a lot of legs on these fiends. Moving to try and cancel some towers. Talisman of Evasion on Archmage, actually not awful. There's an arcane tower already. It's going to attack it. Good spread by the footman. They're spread in 2-2-1 groups. He gets a Nova, but only on 2 footies. Didn't bring them all together as 5. Sends the rest of the footies away to the fountain. A coil finishes one of the footies off. Within that 200 health range, the kill range. Defend upgrade and more footies being made, but so many have died. Defend upgrade is never to allow footies to kill fiends. That's not what it does. It just allows them to live for longer. All to buy time for tier 3 and tier 2. But this game is not like the other. DK is level 3. Lich hasn't suicided yet. More footies are being killed, and more peasants were killed during the expansion. Yes, I'm using a clean feed, Zrazu Ivko. For the rest, I don't know. Did I say yet? I don't mean he definitely will again. Coil on the fiend? In time. Three towers again. The sweet spot for him. 3 per base. 1 arcane, 2 guard. It is not possible to watch this in the old graphics. There is a technical way. I could be invited to NetEase battle platform to join the actual lobbies, put on my own stream delay and use classic graphics toggle. But this is not desired by the tournament. This is organized by Blizzard's official Chinese partner, NetEase, in China. And this tournament would not have happened simply if Reforged had never happened. Despite what you think of Reforged graphics, good, bad, like it, don't like it, indifferent, it doesn't matter. You would not be watching this tournament now if it hadn't happened. And this is their contract for the budget of this tournament. We had the wonderful WGL last year with Happy winning and taking second, and then Lin winning the WGL summer and winter. Those would not have happened if Reforged had not been announced at BlizzCon 2018. So let's just accept it. You can have an opinion, but yes, we cannot show this in Classic. I physically can't do it. 42 food. WFC would love to pick up a pit lord with Rain of Fire to harass the peasants. I'm Peratrisisi. Thank you so much for your tier 1 sub. Appreciate it, man. It seems like getting paid makes Grub praise Reforged graphics. So sad, sold out. I am not getting paid for this. I asked if I can opt the restream, the clean feed, to cast it for my community. They were very happy that I asked to do that and gladly agreed. I am doing this for the viewers' enjoyment and my own. I wanted to watch this anyway, and it's better to watch it together. That was pretty Pepega of you, but I understand that's what you believed. So, give it some thinking. Lich level 2 with Nova and Frost Armor. Archmage trying to go for some items at the vault, gets stuck. But he also wants to make himself a focus target on purpose. Because the towers are dying. He needs to buy time for flying machines to come out. Regen scroll on the peasants. Thank you for the sub, AFI86. Also, I wasn't praising Reforged graphics. I said whatever your opinion is. It looks like saying whatever your opinion is, allowing people to have their own opinion, is me praising it in your mind. That's pretty biased, dude. You know what I think of the graphics, that's why I don't use them. But I didn't give my opinion. Anyway, that was just one guy. Let's have a bit of a laugh at it. I don't believe chat's opinion is represented by one person. I just think it's funny. So, CHAEMIKO has 40 lumber, no shredder, and his lumber income is dying. WFC's pressure is big. 60 food, Rain of Fire. Peasants dying. Oh, he's got one workshop flying machines coming. That's not a lot. There's 2 destroyers with 2 statues. Just like yesterday against Foggy, WFC's second game is significantly better. But it didn't help against Foggy. It does look like it will help here. Enough peasants were murdered before the tier 2, before the expansion finished, for this to be a crippling attack. In fact, a fatal attack, most likely. CHAEMIKO goes for the laboratory, buys a goblin shredder, but it will probably come too late. Did he though? No, I thought that's what his lumber would have gone to. No, it's probably a paladin. It's probably a paladin that this lumber went to. Still lumber issues then. Celeste Twitch, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Welcome back. We love your cast, Grubs. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Stormcrow. I will. I wasn't sure if I was going to cast the whole thing, but it's been really fun and many people have enjoyed it. I'll definitely keep it up. Tomorrow is normally my off day, and I still won't do a 1v1 stream at night, but I will still be here for the finals day of the groups. Waking up early in the AM. Do you know how little I wake up in the AM and how much I hate it? Since I sleep at 4 AM. I couldn't sleep last night either. But Warcraft has a way of me not caring about whether I'm tired or not. DK gets level 4. He murdered the expansion. Leaves the blacksmith. Blacksmith is actually one of the cheapest, highest health buildings that there is. Which is why it's often built in the most callous positions. And why people don't even want to kill them. They got like, I don't know, 1300 life. They only cost 160 gold. You keep saying welcome back, dude. Do you know their genders or are you simply assuming? Dude, many people agree, is double gendered or all gendered accepted term. You don't even have to say dudette. Many women feel like saying dude is totally normal too. I've asked people. Dude is gender neutral. So you're the one doing assuming. Footman died? It would be funny if creeps leveled up if they killed a lot of units. It's like suddenly Red Drake level 7. True shot Ara. But CHAEMIKO saved up a lot of gold. He's got finally some flying machines. And he's got true shot aura. His hero levels are getting better. He is not completely down and out. 1500 gold. And you know, he's under upkeep. If CHAEMIKO can get the natural and then TP out without losses, he can go camp in his main. Which means WFZ would have to siege. And 1500 gold on 1 days can actually get you to 70. You just need time. He needs to TP now. Water elementals get devoured. Nova Steel on the creep. So that was a lot of XP for WFZ. MK did get level up. CHAEMIKO still not going for over 50 food. And while he is being greedy, yes, this is necessary greed. Sundering Blades still needs to be made. You don't want to go over 50 with one knight and then get Sundering Blades. Now he starts. Knight, breakers, and flying machines coming out. But the... Oh! For a small camp. But I understand why he was taking a camp. He wanted Paladin 3, which is huge for sniping heroes and saving stuff. But ouch. Loses a knight. WFC 70 food. Now goes for the blacksmith. Which is actually queuing up 3 upgrades. Oh my god. He's gonna get back a lot of money. And what is his production queue? He's tying up all of his resources. I'm surprised he didn't start all 4. Now, if you lose a blacksmith with all the upgrades queued up and the resources tied up, that does not constitute resource loss, okay? Some people think that you have to cancel upgrades quickly, but that's not how upgrades work. Only transformative upgrades are lost when something dies. If a town hall on the way to transforming into a keep gets killed, then you lose the upgrade money. Transformative upgrades, but not research. That's not transformative. Rain of Fire level 2. Anti-magic shell is kind of the death knell for human, because their only chance is Stormbolt, the Holy Light Focus Fire on a hero or something. He really wants this barracks to finish the knights. But now he's supply blocked, the barracks dies, and all that money that CHAEMIKO saved up can neither go to upgrades nor knights. So what's he gonna make? Breakers? So we call this a long extended death animation. No, Magic Shell is from Banshees in Cognito, not Necromancers. Mortars. Mortars is good against Banshees and Fiends, though they do get sniped easily. Necromancers see very little use in the Orient. Only Westerners use Necros. Craft, Side. Oh, Abomination Illusions. So disruptive. One destroyer's gone down. Water Elemental focusing the Banshees. Second destroyer goes down. No more Magic Shell on the Death Knight. Oh, D-Shield on the Paladin. Stormbolt. He Holy Lights something to be saved. Not the DK. Though it wouldn't have killed him. But I thought he would go for broke and just try to be desperate. Uh-oh! Nova! On the Paladin. If the Paladin lives, we'd be looking at a 57 versus 44 food situation. CHAEMIKO had a chance, which just really blows my mind. That paladin, I want to say it probably shouldn't have died. His D shield was ending, the TP was there, but I think he was part of the same group and he was just kind of like coming back in. I feel like it shouldn't have died. He could move it away. Easy to say, of course. Lich is faster than Pala. Barracks comes back. One more creep camp for WFC. Creeps it with his DK. He's stealing 10 to 30 XP from his other heroes. Yeah, maybe like 30 XP. 20, 30 XP. Oh no! Or is that human bias? I guess I often cheer for the underdog. A caster's bias will always show through accidentally. I'm cheering for the underdog because he's losing this map. So I say, oh no. But I should say, oh yes! Kill those flyings. Or be like, oh wow, I feel neutral about this. One player's killing flyings, but the others lost them. Oh, wow, that's okay for me, actually. That would not be biased. I feel indifferent about this. Ah! Archmage! And there's no Pala, there's no invul. Heal pulled past. Archmage trying to get away, but the mortar combat blocking him. Coil Nova on the mortar. Breaker died. Flying's getting webbed. Oh wow, that's okay. Flyings are dying, this is fine. To be honest, really good attempts by CHAEMIKO to make the fight as close as it was. But let's face it, this game started to end at 4 minutes when he lost 5 peasants on the expansion. And it ended again. I wouldn't say losing his expansion was a mistake because he simply couldn't hold it. But I do think he waited long to produce. And I think his upgrades were late from the blacksmith. You don't go from having no upgrades to suddenly queuing up 3. If you can queue up 3 when you have 1600 gold, you could have queued it up 5 minutes ago. Final map. Northern Isles. CHAEMIKO's choice. He's got really laggy webcam. He needs to chew in order to start the webcam. There's like a little electrode that... He stopped chewing! Damn it! Alright, there we go. Come on. Power that electrode. I appreciate the commentator's appreciation of Grubby's appreciated. I'm super casual. Why are there so few maps in the pool? Right, only 7 maps. When the bats on that pool has like more than 10. No need to attack him, Dryad of Moon. Come on. No need to fight. Yeah, few maps. Because Heroes of the Storm has like 15, right? But the League player would think, wow, there's so many maps in the pool. We only have 1. Why 7? How do the players have time to keep up with all the maps? Well, that's because we don't need to deal with team politics. 7 maps is the most usual map pool size for players in Warcraft 3. You veto 1 or 2, depending.
How may I serve?
This is my feared 4 versus 4 strategy. CL, Lich no third.
I really appreciate your request and I will add it. Also, don't feel guilty about the timing. I can always skip alerts or mute them myself. I will get back to you later. Thank you so much for your request. Really appreciate it. Guy with beer. And thanks for the sub, Demon28. But 7 maps in Warcraft pool is the most usual size. It's still small enough to be practiced and large enough to be interesting. Map rotation, 1 map coming in, 1 going out, is rare in Warcraft 3. It has a multitude of reasons. Warcraft 3 maps are notoriously difficult to balance for the pro level. Map makers are not financially incentivized and sometimes not even morally incentivized to make maps because players are not financially incentivized to practice the maps. Blizzard does not incentivize anyone to make and practice maps.
Streams have been great. Keep up the good work.
I really appreciate that, AHTF. Your long-term sub and your extra support. Thank you. I will. Yeah, map makers are not paid. That's what I said, Sanderdorn. I thought that's what I said, but thank you for adding that. They're not financially incentivized, nor are they paid. This is true. And also, they don't get any money for it. So you're expecting quality work from someone that would need to put in dozens of hours for maybe no recognition of his work, no serious testing, no guarantee that his map would ever be added to the map pool, and no pay. You're expecting talented programmers to do this out of passion, but no guarantee that the map would ever be used. That's been a problem. The reason StarCraft 1 had so many new maps is because Kespa, who organized all the pro teams' existence, the talent flow of new players, the culture of the television watching of the esports, and getting the sponsors, they came up with the new maps. Warcraft has nothing like that. But we're starting to do it. This Friday, in 2 days from now, on July 17th, the new season of W3 Champions is going to play. And we're adding a new map. It's called Autumn Leaves. A community-made map that will be included in the ladder, and we from Fight Night, Heroes Hearth, will be including that map in the pool as well. So we are doing our small part of letting this map gain relevance, validity, and recognition. By closing the circle, we have the place to practice it on the W3 Champions ladder, which is also community-made, and the reason to practice it via the Heroes Hearth Fight Night. You need to close the circle, because now there's financial incentive for players to practice it and not thumb it down on the ladder. It's not the ship map. Oh, I'm still trying to fight for the ship map, but there's many opinions, and I am very excited about boats, maybe unlike some, but Autumn Leaves is a great map. So anyway, back to the game. Northern Isles. One peasant has gone down. The harass is not as weak as on map 1, but not as strong yet as on map 2. 2 peasants. 3 peasants. Archmage gets level 3 from the skeletons. 3 peasants have gone down, but luckily there were 7 here. This farmer created 7 strong sons, and they're hard at work on their dad's farm. 3 have died, but there's still 4 more, so it's like it's fine, right? And he also brought in extra peasants from his main base to continue the work. So he finishes the base. In terms of early harass, the strength level is exactly in between map 1 and 2. So this might be the closest game yet. There's an opening here. Does DK dare to go in? This is an invite to hell. It's like, oh, the gate to hell is open. I can just go in. And make out with succubi. But the butcher will come from behind and close the gap. Archmage was coming in. It's always risky to commit your DK to go inside there. He doesn't dare to do so. CHAEMIKO has enough lumber to tech the tier 2. Will he do that or continue to make more peasants first? You want to get that MK most ASAPly. In a most ASAP fashion. As soon as ASAPly possible. There we go, with the tech. Okay. Let it be known for the record that the tier 3 of Undead started the same time as the tier 2 for Human. The Human, of course, has his expansion. Footies and Water Elemental chasing the DK. Nope. Yo, nice deny by Archmage on the footy. Second one did die to the Lich. That was a great job by CHAEMIKO. Using footies, buying time, wasting mana, quote-unquote waste, so that everything doesn't go to peasants, and then denying the XP is the best of all worlds. CHAEMIKO's more aggressive this time with committing his footmen. He kept them alive for a long time in game 1 and 2. Now, using them for gains. Water Elemental saved from coil range. Good job. Footy's getting away as well. You need to start running them when they're 80% life. That's how low they are. Archmage getting hit. Archmage has double claws of attack, Periapt of vitality, and a boots. He's a real machine gun. Good items for CHAEMIKO. Not bad for WFZ as well. He's got the Mantle of Intelligence. 1 Arcane Tower, non-stop peasant production, 1 Arcane in the main, and that blocking Blacksmith once again. Archmage goes to the main base of Undead. Keeping ghouls preoccupied with defending Water Elementals is a great way to destabilize the lumber economy and the tech speed of the Undead. What does he get? Wand of Cyclone! Mana Stone, Heal Stone, Wand of Cyclone, Book of the Dead, Heal Ward. I think Wand of Cyclone is one of the best. He gets the surround. Yeah, I was just thinking the ranking of this item. I think it's top 3 that you can get as an Undead. Maybe Mana Stone is also very good, and Book of the Dead can be used to break towers. But I think Wand of Cyclone is either best or 3rd best. Or 2nd, but 4th is right out. Nice blocks by the DK. Defend upgrade, isn't it? Or did I see wrong? Lol, he coiled the footman, but the creep is the one with the last hit. Because I think the footman had 110 life. Ghouls are back to work. 4 towers this time. He had 3 last time. That's a change. Last 2 games it was just 3. He's done the monster math and has decided that 4 is the correct answer. That's how much you really need. Where's the Archmage? How many in the main? Maybe only 3. Isn't 4 unlucky in Asia? Yes, 4 sounds like death. This is true. 1 or 3 10 4 sounds like death. They often skip this number. Feels very holy hand grenade, Monty Python man. 2 arcanes. Oh, okay. 2 arcane, 2 guard, and none in the main. I think CHAEMIKO has found out that WFC almost always only attacks the natural, not the main. So he made 5 instead of 6, but has 1 more. Magic! It's not trivial. I've been to China often, Ultimate War. Coil Nova on the MK. Has a heal pot, uses it. He needs access to regen scroll and more healing potions. Peasants cycling out to the gold line in order to keep this arcane vault up. Every time new healthy peasants. But the risk is a Nova on the worker line could kill so many. Lich is in position. He bolts the Lich. This is a great play because 2 arcanes are shooting the Lich. There's so much mana being lost on the Lich. He only has 1 Nova left. But that 1 Nova could kill 5 peasants. But that was a great play by CHAEMIKO. And for WFC, he didn't walk his Lich into the base.
Keep up the good
work.
work.
Thank you so much.
Your casting is very
Imperatrice
interesting.
Sissy.
Thanks for doing this.
Ah, MK! MK is so low! So many peasants have gone down, but the mana on the undead heroes is gone. 2 flyings fly into web. Not good for CHAEMIKO. He's got no mana. He's lost many peasants. And his flyings died. These 2 were so important. WFC is breaking the defenses. There's no shop left. MK is too low to be a factor. Where's the paladin? He cannot repair these towers well enough against the Fiends. Fiends notoriously difficult to kill at this stage in the game for the human. Towers don't cut it. 4 skeletons on the remaining peasants. We'll kill another peasant, maybe 2. And the Lich comes back in again. Destroyer focus fire by the towers. It drops low, gets a coil. There's enough mana for more coils. Bolt focus on the Fiend. In come the Militia. There's 2 breakers, 3 breakers. Archmage gets focused, maybe. Cyclone on the Paladin. Archmage does have TP. Keep your hand on the trigger. And he TPs. Blocks the coil damage. A Fiend goes down. 4 peasants still mining gold. He's remaking. 52 versus 52. The harass shows what kind of game it's going to be. I told you, it's going to be the closest. It does look like it. Game 2 was too easy for WFZ. Game 1, too easy for CHAEMIKO. And now, the true or undead versus human, as we are used to seeing it. Flyings get webbed, get a few shots on the destroyer, but he coils it, moves back, and focuses down 1 flying. Peasants are mining again, but CHAEMIKO is supply blocked. Does he have Orb of Fire? No. He does have Staff of Sanctuary. No Orb of Fire, which is very important to deny coil value. Another Rain of Fire kills so many peasants. 4 have gone down. He can mine at most with 2 peasants. CHAEMIKO finished top 4 in WGL Winter 8 months ago. Him and Sok have a little friendly contest. Which Korean human will finish highest? Will CHAEMIKO be eliminated with 2 consecutive best of 3s? Sok is already top 3 of his group. Will he pass? CHAEMIKO is top 4. Can he rival Sok at least? Goes back in again. Stormbolt focus on the Lich. There is enough mana on the DK. Surround tries to close on the Lich. Surround is closed. He kills the Lich. But the Cyclone on the Archmage was huge. He would have been able to Staff of Sanctuary his Paladin to prevent the 1-for-1 hero trade. But that's the final Cyclone wand. They were very well used by WFZ. Lich is much of the damage that an undead brings. Abomination now. Disease Cloud halfway done. Knight, will he staff it? He will. That means MK is now focus bait. WFZ making Lich the old-fashioned way. Abomination in the worker line. Disease Cloud, seconds away from finishing. Abomination back to fight with the army. Rain of Fire on the towers. Fiend focus fire with Stormbolt. Does he have Burrow? Knight with a long distance sword hit. 1 Fiend goes down. A breaker goes down. Paladin comes back in. What does he focus? Not enough mana for Stormbolt. Maybe go for some statues or fiends? Fiend gets coiled. Disease Cloud is in effect. Paladin. Staff of Sanctuary on the Knight. That means MK is now under threat. MK has to go around the other side. Peasants! Oh god! Instead of sending his peasants to mine, he attacks with them. A misclick. Presumably he put them in a control group to send them to his natural. And for all this time, a short period, granted, but for this time they were not mining as he was trying to buy time. I don't think it was a game-ending mistake because I'm not sure that the game is still open for CHAEMIKO, but it's certainly not what you want. It looks very good for WFZ. Destroyer never died. MK, Holy Light. Staff of Sanctuary cannot be available yet. It isn't. Coil, MK dies. Destroyer runs away on those little legs, walking through the air. That thick stratosphere as he lays chase and lays waste to the human forces. Another web on the flying machine. Now staff available again on the breaker. 2 peasants, 1 tower left. This base is burning. So are the hopes of CHAEMIKO burning up. WFZ managed to do it. After 0-2 against Foggy, losing the first map against CHAEMIKO, played more and more solid and secured this. Web on the flying. Devour on the Water Elemental. Coil. He's covering all his bases. Level 4 3/3 against 1/1. CHAEMIKO's final moments in WGL. The Lich surround. Invul. Baiting maximum damage on the Lich before invaling to secure the Paladin kill. Staff. He's trying to stop the sea from flowing with waves with a spoon. The waves will imperturbably come in and out. You can't explain that. Town Hall goes down. 13 lumber, 38 food. It explodes. Blacksmith, once again, standing sentinel. A remnant of civilizations past. And the Archmage gets coiled. GG. WFC wins. CHAEMIKO is eliminated. And that means we will get a rematch between WFC and Foggy tomorrow.